back to the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. My name is Michael Crosa, and today we have a very special episode. I'm recording this on October 5th, which is the BNI Nonprofit Walk and Talk here in Southeast Tennessee. We like to do an event that helps supports our member nonprofits. So we'll be talking to people, we'll be getting to meet people, and we are walking along the Tennessee River Park, which is one of my favorite spots in Chattanooga. So we're going to hear a message from one of our sponsors, and then we'll be in the trail. Thanks. This episode of the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast is brought to you by WebIve Digital Marketing. Do you need more sales and calls? I know you do. So Anton, Donnie, and America at WebIve are the experts in local SEO, Google Business Optimization, and web design. An ideal referral for them would be a business owner who wants to take their online visibility up to the next level. So be sure to check the link in the show notes below or just go over to webive.com to see how they can help.
Good morning, BNI! Good morning! Yay, thank you. You all, thank you so much for being here and for walking and supporting BNI and supporting our nonprofits. We're gonna walk from here down to the food bank and back. When you get to the food bank, there's some snacks and waters and stuff, but you're also gonna get a little Beningo card. And it's going to ask you to do different things on the way back, and then we have a prize for you when you get back, okay? We'll do a drawing for the person who fills it all out. So before we get started, I do want to thank all of our sponsors: Basement Correctors, Bio One of Chattanooga, Century Roofing, Brothers Financial, Chattanooga First Federal Credit Union, Highland Tire, John Meldorf Law Firm, Donald Kane State Farm, Wolford and Robinson, woohoo! Parish Home Inspections, WebIve, I see there they are, Mighty Dog Roofing, Z Squared, and S&S Creations. Our nonprofits today: Alzheimer's Association, woohoo! Medal of Honor Museum, the Chattanooga Area Food Bank, J103, WGU of Tennessee, Community Helps Itself, Nuga Rugby Boosters, and the McNabb Center. We could not have asked for a more beautiful day. Thank goodness it was this Saturday and not last. Oh my word. So, you are ready to start walking. So see you at the food bank.
All right, and so this is Tim Zambos. Hi, Tim.
Hi.
So tell me the story a little bit about the Walk and Talk.
Well, BNI Walk and Talk is a passion of Elaine's and mine in giving back to all of our non-for-profits. One of the things that we do is in BNI, we do sponsor one non-for-profit per chapter. Mm-hmm. And then after that, today is about making those connections with our non-for-profit, with each other, and growing our businesses through giving back on the Givers Gain mentality. So that is a big deal for Elaine and myself in the future. We want to make sure that this is successful and going forward.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So any piece of advice for people who are thinking about it next year?
Yes. One is don't put it off when you think that there's something good that you can do for someone else. Make it happen sooner than later. Make it a priority. And because if we keep putting things off, we never get around to it. So I really encourage everyone, because at the end, we all benefit and we all grow a little bit more.
Absolutely. Well, let's go catch up with the group.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks. So we are here on the BNI Walk and Talk, and I'm with members of the Monkey Business chapter.
Yes.
Hi. Yeah, cool. And so this is our newest chapter, right? Newest chapter. Cool. So I see that you're wearing purple armbands. Can you tell me what that means?
We're doing this in honor of Elaine's brother. We lost him about a month or so ago, and we just wanted to honor her and honor him while we take part in this.
That's awesome. That's really special.
Elaine gives so much back to the nonprofits and all of her events that we couldn't help but support her and support her brother during this time of loss. And we just love Elaine, and we thank her for all she does for our communities.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. So if somebody wants to come visit the Monkey Business chapter, where do we find you?
Thursdays, 8 to 9:30 at Trinity Chapel and Events. It's a church right down in downtown Dayton, and we would love to have you.
Awesome.
As the newest chapter.
The newest chapter, and I'll actually be there Thursday as a sub.
Yay!
So I'll see you there. All right.
Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, thanks so much, y'all.
All right.
Thank
Get down
you.
to monkey business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have just been running, which is not a great idea when you're as out of shape as I am. But here with Alexis Hughes. Hi, Alexis.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Awesome on this bright, happy morning.
Yeah. So this is all about supporting the nonprofits in BNI, and you represent one of those.
I do. I'm with the Alzheimer's Association here in Chattanooga.
Right on. Well, tell me more about that and your role and how BNI has helped you.
So I am the development manager for the walk here in town, both in Cleveland and in Chattanooga. And BNI has really just helped with the amazing network to make our resources available to as many people as possible. Everyone is somehow touched by this disease. They have a family member or they know someone that's been affected. And so there is a personal story with everyone. And it's just been amazing to have people talk to me about the impact on themselves or in their businesses or families or friend circles, and just having BNI be that network to be able to make sure that people know that we're here for them, we care about them, and we have resources.
That's awesome. I think a lot of times when people hear about nonprofits and BNI, they're like, what is that even, why?
Right.
But sounds like you're getting a lot of good benefit and getting a lot of good community out of it.
Oh yeah, and that's what we're about. The fundraising is of course important. We now have 2 FDA approved treatments that the walks and all of the fundraising contributed to, but just being here for the community and letting them know that they're not doing this alone is the mission for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Okay, so any advice that you have for people who are thinking about getting involved in BNI?
Do it. 100% do it. I was skeptical when I was approached about it to being brought in, but I've been in for over a year and now I'm going to be a lifer, so it works.
Love it. Cool. Well, Alexis, thanks so much. Happy walking.
Thank you. Happy walking.
Okay, so we're continuing. We're walking by, I think, the Amnicola Marsh right now. Yeah. So, can you give me a little introduction and tell me about your nonprofit?
Yeah, my name is Carrie Hunter. I am the Assistant Director of Development for Hamilton County for the McNabb Center. The McNabb Center is 76 years old, and we provide mental health, substance use, social and victim services throughout Southeast Tennessee.
That's awesome. And I think I remember that's bigger than Chattanooga, right? It's a pretty big organization.
It's huge. It actually started by a woman named Helen Ross McNabb in Knoxville. She started with a small children's clinic, but it was after wartime, and they quickly realized that there were more people hurting than just children. There were men who were coming back changed. There were men who were not coming back at all. Mm-hmm. So families were changing, and this is way before mental health was a buzzword. So she was really a pioneer in our region.
That's awesome. Cool. And so what has being in BNI meant for you and your work with the McNabb Center?
Well, it's been monumental for me. As I said, McNabb Center started in Knoxville. So they've had a development office in that area for 50 years. We've only been in Hamilton County for 11 years.
Okay.
A lot of people, they've heard the McNabb Center, but they don't know what we do. Mm-hmm. So this has given me a great platform to share our services with people who may need them, but also gain supporters in our local businesses.
That's awesome. So if people want to learn more about the McNabb Center and get involved with what you're doing, how can they find you?
They can go to mcnabb.org. They can call me, 423-290-6499, or reach out to me by email. Kerrie, Kerrie.hunter@McNabb.org.
Awesome. We'll make sure to put those in the show notes. Kerrie, thanks so much.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I'm here with my fellow chapter member, Brian Reed. How's it going, man?
Good. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. Tell me about what your experience has been like on the Walk and Talk so far.
Got to meet Jeff, who's an attorney.
Okay.
And learn all about his business. So
Cool.
Good.
And what about your business? What's your business?
I'm a mortgage broker, Brothers Financial.
Right on. How has BNI helped you in your business?
Really connected me with lots of great people around Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And just kind of helped me get my name out there as somebody new to town and, talk about what we can offer.
Cool. Right on. Do you have advice for people who are thinking about coming?
Definitely visit a couple different chapters, check them out, see what one kind of is a good fit for you and vibes and you like the people there. And, jump in all the way and, be committed to the one-to-ones and getting to know your chapter, and it'll pay off for you.
Right on. Well, cool, Brian. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah. Elaine, hi.
Hey, Michael, what a great day.
Yeah, how's the Walk and Talk going so far?
We are having so much fun. People are making such great connections. We are supporting our local businesses, and more importantly, we're supporting our local nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, I've gotten to talk to a few of them. Can you tell me a little bit about how it works, like how we're going to support them?
Sure. So what we did was we did sell some sponsorships, and then as people registered for the walk, that money, so all of the money, 100% of the proceeds goes back to our nonprofits. So we divide the money up equally and write them a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I've been asking everybody this, but I'm going to ask you too. What has BNI done for you?
Oh my gosh. Really? You're asking me?
Yeah.
So
it's only fair.
Seriously, BNI has been game changer. BNI has changed my life, actually. Yeah. I mean, I never in a million years thought I would be in a position that I am right now. And, to see that our BNI members last year passed over $50 million in 1 year, and that's local businesses.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, and so doing that just makes me feel so proud. So, we've talked in the past about what's important, being successful or being significant. Yeah. And being a part of BNI has made me significant because I am so rich in relationships.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's a great day, and I think people are having a good time. They're out here with their kids, their dogs, and we're all having a great time.
It's really fun.
And then on the way back, we're doing a little game, and we're asking them to meet new friends and do a one-to-one, and so it's all fun, fun stuff.
Well, thanks so much, Elaine.
Thank you.
Oh, good, man.
That's good.
How was the Walk and Talk for you?
It's been really nice seeing everybody. I love BNI and all the people here. It's a good group. It's a good group of business-minded people that know how to go out and do business.
Yeah. So speaking of business, I mean, what's yours? How is BNI playing into your business?
Well, I retired from my other job, so I'm on full-time retirement now. I'm actually drawing a Social Security check, which allows me now to work full-time for my passion, which is feeding people through community. Community helps itself and Chi Markets.
Cool.
So now I'm just going to focus, most of my life doing that as the executive director, and really our purpose is to feed community good, local, clean, healthy foods and build a true collaborative, which we have done now. It's taken 12 years to get there, but we have a location on Dayton Boulevard at 2008 Dayton Boulevard as a physical home, so people can actually come in and see, I can go to the farmer's market and get all these local, clean, healthy things that you cannot find in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Typical grocery store where we've been trained, right?
Right.
So you can come there, use that as a base for all your basic food groups, meats, eggs, dairy, vegetables, all that kind of stuff. And then I tell people you can go to the grocery store for your junk.
Catch up on the Cheetos.
Catch up on the Cheetos and beer, whatever, ice cream, whatever else you need.
Cool. Well, that's good, man. And how has BNI played into
I think BNI for me has really allowed me to take ownership of what we're doing in the community and feeding people. You've got the food bank, which is amazing. Thank God for food banks because it fills people's bellies up. But we take it one step further, and that's giving people, the last couple of years, we fed all the towers downtown, all the seniors, through sponsorships, like through Humana and Keller Williams and different people like that, where they'll sponsor a tower, and we can go feed all those seniors in that tower who draw maybe $40 a month in SNAP benefits or whatever they get from the government. And by the time they pay their food, they don't. Their housing, they don't have any money for food, literally.
Yeah.
So sponsoring, if you're ever interested in sponsoring children or mothers with children or elderly or other areas where people need to eat clean so they don't have to go to the doctor when they get older, so they don't have to take all these prescription medications, which gives you one compounded problem after another. They just cause all kinds of side effects, and it happens to all of us as we get older. And the only way to balance that is to have as many types of foods that are clean and healthy with no GMOs, no hormones, all that kind of stuff. You've got to eat clean or your body's going to get sick.
Yeah.
And then you have to go into medications. It's kind of the way the world is. Big business has set it up that way. So we support local farmers, local makers, local growers, and the money stays in our community instead of going to big box store owners and multimillionaire investors.
Right on. Well, if people want to get involved with what you're doing, buy some okra, buy some whatever else you got, where can we find you?
You can find us at 2008 Dayton Boulevard. It's right across from the McDonald's and right across from the Bojangles on Dayton Boulevard, next to the liquor store. We get a lot of people that stop from the liquor store and come over and eat healthy food. So that's good, man. Yeah. Go have a nice night and eat some healthy food. But 2008 Dayton Boulevard, and our website is www.communityhelpsitself, just like it sounds, helps is plural, .org, communityhelpsitself.org, or you can reach us by phone at 423-800-9043, and my name's Bates.
Bates, and people can sign up for delivery as well.
You can sign up for delivery. We deliver all through the Chattanooga Valley. It's only $9. It's cheap compared to other deliveries.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Bates, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks for all you do, Michael. I love you, brother. It's been good being part of this with you. Y'all have a good one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, Michael.
We're here on the Walk and Talk with America. Hi, America. How are you?
Good. How are you, Michael?
Doing well. WebIve is a sponsor of the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. Thank you so much for that.
We're happy to sponsor it. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me how your morning has been so far.
Well, it's been pretty good. When I woke up this morning, it was really, really foggy, and the listeners that like to watch Twilight, it was like one of those. Like it was like, like the song from Twilight. Was the ha 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 ha. It was like that.
Nice. I have watched the Twilights, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, it was exactly like that this morning. I was like, I wish I could just get back in bed and watch the whole series.
Cool. So can you tell me a little bit about your involvement in BNI and what it's meant for your business?
Yeah, so for me, I got involved in BNI in October of last year. So this will be my first year renewing my BNI membership. And really, it's been really great for WebIve in general. We hold 3 different seats, 3 different chapters, and we've had a return on our investment in every single chapter.
Oh, that's great.
So we are a big proponent of BNI. Anytime we meet a small business that is needing more referrals, we always plug them in to one of our chapters, because it's really like a great way to meet people locally and get known faster, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, get known by the community faster.
Cool.
And then for me this year, in my chapter, I'm going to be the vice president.
Okay, right on.
Of the chapter in Four Bridges and Ooltewah.
Nice.
So everyone told me that was like the worst job, the most work. Well, I knew that. But I haven't found it to be too hard yet. But I've only done it for a week.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm starting as president and also gearing up. And Donnie, you're starting as president too, right?
Yeah, it's terrible. I had to stay up like hours, fixing the presentation and updating everything. What about you?
Yeah, same. It's like, it's only like an hour or 2 a week. It's like, okay, it is, but right now it's not.
Right. So, BNI is awesome. It's awesome. It's great. And it's good to have that spotlight on you running the meeting.
Yeah.
but I definitely could have some improvement from my first meeting. So, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah. We'll see. Have you had your first meeting?
Yeah, we just had our meeting yesterday.
Cool. Mine is Monday.
I wish you the best of luck. If you need any help, let me know.
Cool. Well, and we didn't say this, but Donnie is also part of the WebIve crew. So, yeah, right on. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks so much to both of you, and I hope you have a great walk and talk. Here we are. We're on the second half of the BNI Walk and Talk. I'm going to try not to hit passerby with the with the camera pole as we go. Beth is one of our sponsors. Hi, Beth.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you tell me about Superpower Strategies?
Well, Superpower Strategies is a company that helps salespeople be better salespeople and grow their business however they need to do that. So some people will have issues with client retention. So for every customer they bring in, they're losing a customer. So how do we keep customers that we get? Others have great customer retention, but they can't figure out why their sales are flat. And the reason why they're flat is because they aren't selling any new business. Mm-hmm. So we figure out ways to help them do that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And who do we have here?
This is Toby.
Hi, Toby.
With my he even has a superpower collar on.
Yeah, he's got the collar on.
He thinks he has superpowers today, and he wants
Here, I'll
to
come on this side of you.
He wants to drag me through the park.
Well, you are very involved in BNI, so maybe you could tell me a little bit about what BNI means to you, and why do you decide to be so involved?
Okay. Well, I'm involved with BNI because as a solo entrepreneur, I was lonely. And yes, my husband's a great cheerleader, but I was looking for a way to be surrounded by like-minded people that would lift me up and be my cheerleaders. And it did just that. And of course, once you do that, then, you can't give it up because
Right.
It makes life so much
It's
better.
such a good community.
That's
yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Well, cool. Well, if anybody's watching this and thinking about whether they're going to come on the Walk and Talk next year, what would you tell them?
I would say it's a fun event, that it's beautiful weather. You get to get some sunshine, but not too much, so you don't have to sweat too much.
Nice and shaded.
Yeah, it's just the perfect way to bring in fall.
Yeah.
And meet new people.
Right on. Well, cool. Well, alrighty, Beth. Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
If people want to find you and learn more about their sales process, where can we find you?
Superpowerstrategies.com.
All right.
That's the easiest way.
Easiest way. We'll link it in the show notes below. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so Amy.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. So you have been hard at work organizing and being a big part of the team behind this, right?
Part of the team, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Cool. So we're on the finishing side of it. So how did it go?
It went great. We had a lot of people here, more than last year, which is great. New faces.
Yeah.
Some faces that are seasoned BNI members, and it's a great feeling to see all the people making connections.
That's awesome. That's good. So you also represent one of the nonprofits that we're supporting.
I do.
So can you tell me about that?
WGU, Western Governors University. We're an online competency-based university, and we are also a nonprofit.
Right on. Cool. So how has being in BNI helped you in your work with WGU?
I think it's helped give more exposure. WGU Tennessee is a lot of a closer, it's online, but having an office in Tennessee versus the where our home office is in Salt Lake City. But I think it's helped people see that there are other options for education, that as business people, you don't have time to go sit in school. And with us being competency-based, there's no regulated seat time. It's all on your own time.
Yeah, gotcha. Interesting.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, if somebody was thinking about whether they want to come to the Walk and Talk next year, what would you tell them?
Absolutely big yes, and all capital letters. Referrals can happen, one-to-ones can happen. And I heard people saying there were business deals happening. So,
cool.
Lots of good things to come from the Walk and Talk.
Nice, cool. Well, Amy Williams, if people want to learn more about WGU, where can we find you online?
WGU.edu.
Easy enough?
Easy enough.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, so we're just here at the finish line, I guess, if you could say. Yeah, it's a finish line. Yeah. Brian, tell me a little bit about yourself and about your work.
Sure. So I work for J103, Partners for Christian Media. If you don't know, we are in the buckle of the Bible Belt, and we are the Christian radio station. So a lot of people know us from J-Fest, which we put on every single year as well. Partners for Christian Media is just that. We try to reach people through Christ, through media. Our big thing is J103. We're 102.7, 103.1, 105.9, and we have the most loyal audience around. We won Best of the Best 13 out of 14 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we are a Christian radio station. So it's an amazing place to work.
That's great. Cool. Yeah. And so you're one of the nonprofits being supported in the BNI Walk and Talk today. Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about what being in BNI has done for you and your business?
Yeah, so I actually started BNI over 20 years ago. I worked for another company and started there. And I met Elaine at that point as well. And it was great for my business then. It was still sales, but it was a different industry type thing.
Sure.
And so left Chattanooga for a moment, went to Florida, came back, and the first thing I did, knowing that I was working for J103, I immediately came back to BNI. It made my living back then. Happy to find out that Elaine was in BNI, and she's got such a heart for not just nonprofits, but everyone. She gives so much. I mean, if you know Elaine, she's constantly thinking about others.
Yeah.
And she lives the BNI, Givers Gain, but also you'll get everything you want in life if you help enough other people get. So she's been amazing. So I came back. She immediately put me right in, found it in my old chapter again.
Cool.
And it was refreshing to see that many of the people that I knew 20 years ago were still there, because that means so much to them. So I'm
now. It's a strong community.
It's a strong community.
Yeah.
I am now a chapter coach. So I've got several of the chapters that I go to, and just try to find ways to give back to Elaine as much as she gives back to us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So if anybody is watching this in anticipation of next year, they're thinking about coming on the Walk and Talk or not, what would you say?
Bring good shoes. No, it is a blast to get to know cross chapters. We talk about this all the time. It's great that you build a unity within and a community within your own chapter. That's awesome. But sometimes we neglect to see that there are other chapters building and growing in the same way.
Yeah.
And they've got multiple people within their line of business that they're looking to plug in. So to tell them about your chapter is key. But what's, to me, the most important and the most awesome thing is no matter what chapter you go to, they've still got the same core values. We always talk about core values, and sometimes we just say those words and don't really think about it. But core values are at the core of BNI. And no matter what chapter you go to within, Southeast community, everybody there is going to hold themselves accountable to those. And so it's just a huge family with many small groups within it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you for your time. If anybody wants to learn more about J103, where can we find you?
J103.com, or just turn on the radio, 102.7, 103.1. We're all about hope and encouragement. And at this time, it's what we need. Everything we play on J103 is positive. It's hope and it's encouragement. So if you want that for your little ears in the back or for your ears while you're driving to work, that's where you find us.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you for what you do, man.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the Medal of Honor Center?
Well, I'm a docent at the Coolidge Medal of Honor Heritage Center here in Chattanooga. It's down on the plaza next to the aquarium. And we're basically an education center, which is why we're the Heritage Center. We use the term museum, but okay, that's not our objective.
Sure.
We saw over 3,000 students in school trips last year We've got over 1,000 booked between now and Thanksgiving.
Wow.
How do you explain courage to a third grader? Well, okay, as an example, his friend is being bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend is being bullied. Okay, you've got a decision to make. Do I step in and assist? There are consequences if I do that. My mom said stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
But in the long run, that's the right thing to do. But the Medal of Honor recipient makes that decision. We're giving them something to put in their hard drive.
Yeah.
So they can
connect
draw
it
on
to
later.
their daily
Or
lives.
sacrifice. They don't swim across the river, having been wounded, to save the comrades under combat conditions. But you're at school, you've got your lunch bag, and you've got your 75 cents. And your friend has neither. Okay.
Yeah.
You can give away that 75 cents, and it's gone. You sacrificed that 75 cents. Well, they get that. Okay. I gave away something that was mine, and I'll never see it again.
Yeah.
But that was the right thing to do. And I've still got lunch. He's got lunch. Everybody's happy. So we try to show them that.
How was your time in the walk and talk? Did you get to meet a lot of people?
Yes, I did. I'm a little fish out of water. I'm not a member of the group. I'm representing the Medal of Honor Society. Our director of financial support is in San Antonio with the Medal of Honor recipients.
Gotcha.
And he's on his way home today, but he needed somebody to represent us.
Yeah.
So I said, sure.
Well, we're glad to have you with
do
us.
That. Yeah.
And right before we started recording, you told me that there's a big big deal happening here next year.
October of 25, the Medal of Honor Society. There are 60 living Medal of Honor recipients. 30 plus of them are comfortable traveling, and they will be here next October.
That's exciting.
Can you imagine 30 of that kind of celebrity here in Chattanooga talking about courage and commitment and sacrifice and citizenship? So it's going to be a huge benefit for Chattanooga.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, if people want to learn more about that or learn more about the Heritage Center, where can they go to learn more?
Well, the website is the Medal of Honor Heritage Center, mohhc.com.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll link that below.
We're down there right next to the aquarium.
My chapter meeting actually meets right on the floor below you.
Oh, yeah,
at the Puckett's.
At Puckett's, yes. Yeah, well, we're in the same building.
Cool. Perfect. Well, Clint, thank you so much for your time.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. We're done. Everything's almost cleaned up. How did it go?
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so much fun to see people just walking, talking, having a great time, meeting new people, scheduling their one-to-ones, giving referrals out on the Riverwalk. Like, who would have thought on a Saturday morning you could show up and get some business? But hey, that's what it's about.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, we're really excited about next year.
Yes.
If anybody is like on the fence, which at this point in the episode, I don't know why they would be, but what would you tell them?
I would say there's no better place to be on a Saturday morning than at the Tennessee River Park with BNI.
Heck yeah. Well, this has been the BNI Southeast Tennessee podcast. And Elaine, I'm a new dad, and I got a dad joke for you.
You have one for me?
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, so as I was walking and talking, one of the things that came up is that people really want an ophthalmologist in their chapters. Did you hear that?
An ophthalmologist?
Yeah. They really want there to be an eye doctor in the chapter.
Love it.
Boo. All right. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.